What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, aka JT, aka J On, aka Sherpa Winfrey, and I'm the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts, the OGs, the best in the biz, my homies, and very excited for today's show. We've got 4 segments to a Domain Sherpa review. We've got the grand opening. That's where I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them, talk about some related things, maybe some unrelated things. Then we get into the domain game. That's where we hear about what the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses on the price. We keep score. And somehow, some way, someday, going to get some swag to the winners. Yeah. Maybe even some media option swag. You know what I'm saying? We got a little something. Anyway, and then we've got NameJet The Jet, where we review a list of domains coming up for auction on NameJet, see what the Sherpas like and what they don't like. And then last but not least, we've got grand closing, where we'll discuss anything we haven't covered already, what's going on in the domain space, looking at the market trends, current events, and allowing our guests to mention anything that they want to talk about that we've not already discussed. So with that, let's go ahead and introduce the Sherpas. Over to my left, we got my boy Andrew Rosner, a.k.a. Morpheus, a.k.a. the Dirk Diggler of digital assets, a.k.a. Bob Lee Swagger, the sniper, a.k.a. Drew. Drew got what I need, a.k.a. every Rosner has its thorn. Never going to give Drew up. Get Rick Roll, Graybeard, the domain pirate with a gray beard. The domain pirate. What's up, man?
I am extremely tired. I slept basically 2 hours last night, but all is well. All is well. You know, it's summertime, living large, and this is my last week of work, and then going on holidays for 3 weeks, and all good, all good.
But you're going on
And
holiday for 3 weeks? So
what?
we should get our bids in then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, one of my favorite pastimes on holiday, I actually bid on more domain auctions on holiday than I do during the week. 'Cause during the week, I'm like actually working, and I'm like, I'll usually spend 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how busy I am in the morning, looking at the auctions, see if there's anything I want to drop a bid on. If I have a little bit of time before I go offline at the end of the day, I'll take one more quick look. But these days, I spend a lot less time on the auctions than I used to. But if I'm on holidays, man, I'm in that GoDaddy, drop catch and GoDaddy DNX, and I'm just like
Yeah.
grilling, I get hungry. So I don't know. I don't know. But this time I'm gonna be trying to be pretty disconnected, particularly next week, go visit the family in the US, spend a little time in New York, and then we'll be back over on this side of the pond with my wife's family, and that's it.
All right, let's keep it
That's
moving. We've got my boy Josh Reason, a.k.a. Bjorn Borg, a.k.a. Prince Harry, a.k.a. Harry Kane, a.k.a. Prince Harry Kane, a.k.a. Slim Shady, a.k.a. DNX. It's dark and hell is hot. X gonna give it to you. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. What up, dude?
What up, dude? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Checking in from the other side of the pond.
Yeah. I was texting with you last night at like 2 a.m.
I know. I felt bad, man, when I was bugging you about
I
like.
was this morning we were at the beach in a place called Woolacombe, and I was like, oh, if I just
What's it
slept,
called?
wouldn't have to go home right now for a Sherpa. It's called it's a beach called Woolacombe.
Okay.
It's in North Devon. It's really not
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful
not
area.
like
Beautiful.
beach that you don't believe exists in the UK, but it does.
Yeah. No, it's an amazingly beautiful area. On my mom's side of the family, we used to own it, the whole area.
What?
Look it up. No joke. Cole family. Cole family. Basically, most of Devon, Cornwall.
I think we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Back in the 1400s.
yeah. So like one of the crazy,
There's still a castle there.
yeah. So one of the crazy,
1400s, and he's still saying we.
Yeah. Look, I still got the bloodline, man. I got the RH negative royal bloodline.
beaches are still privately owned as well. Like, so you can go. There are some beaches that you have to pay to go to, and I don't know if it's like that in the US. Mostly not, right?
I don't think so. I don't think you can privately own a beach, right? No, sorry. There are private beach clubs.
Yeah, but the actual beach itself is not like can't.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that you can have gated access, but I don't know if it's municipal. I don't know how that works.
Mm.
But like I know in Rhode Island, there are several super OG, um, extraordinarily racist beach clubs that like literally to this day don't allow Jews and black people. Um and uh yeah, you have to be a member and you're not allowed and they arrest people when they try. I don't know how that works because then you also like I know a bunch of people that own like very nice homes at the beach, but they have to provide it right away. So I don't know what that differentiation is. I don't know.
It's
Mm.
so usually it's the high tide line is kind of like the
Yeah, but
difference,
like a private beach club clearly
But
owns the beach,
they own the
right?
dry sand, but technically they don't own the wet sand for the
Yeah,
most
but
part,
they don't have to provide. Um,
like
so I guess you
access.
have to let people walk along the water line in front of you. They just can't come up on the beach. But you don't have to provide access to the
Yeah, and
ocean.
state yeah, so I mean, state law, like, and obviously certain states like Florida, California, where there's a lot of coast and, there's the different states have different rules. But, the general rule of thumb is that, you can own the dry sand and you can own the access unless there is sort of other, public access is available. You're not supposed to block it off. That's where you've had people like that have been sued for, basically buying a property and then they put a fence up over the
Yeah.
public beach access and they get sued. So some of that stuff is deeded. It's, so again, it's state law that may require certain, public access. But usually the way it works for the actual sand, like the ownership of you can own the dry sand, but the wet sand is public, which is why, again, like even if you're in Florida, but we got the beach clubs here, you know, people can just randomly walk up and they're not totally policing who walks up and down the dry sand a lot of times anyway. But that's the general rule of thumb is that, they can own the dry sand. The high tide line and beyond is effectively like the public access ocean, if you will. So,
Okay.
and then there's the actual access to the beach is a whole like kind of different story, which is a lot of state law and like, different stuff. So I guess we could slide right into the domain game. Let's do some domain talk since we already spent a good bit talking about maritime rules and laws. And let's see what's good. Drew, you want to kick off the domain game?
Yeah, well, we had some special requests from a fan of the show that I would be prepared for the show one time in my life and actually have a domain, and so I've done that, and I have a
Woo!
domain.
Wow.
We're gonna go with a buy. Did Braden freeze? No, 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 he blinked. We're gonna go with hashpower.com. Hashpower.com.
You bought this, hashpower.com.
Yes.
All right, so this is a purchase.
This is a
Hashpower.com.
purchase. This
Huh?
is a purchase.
Likes the energy names. Let's see.
Jesus. I have no idea. Something. Take a while to guess here.
All right.
Tough one.
All right. Okay. All right. So Braden's at 5.
I think Josh was in this auction.
Oh, Braden's at 5,000. Josh is at 8,911. I'm at 9,999. We got a pretty tight
I see
spread.
some collusion. I don't know. Anyways, Josh is closest. It was like 8,900. Yeah, 8,900. And I think it was 8,980.
How could
I
you
think off
how
by
could you be
about
that close,
70
Josh?
bucks.
Yeah,
I'm just
Josh,
elite.
what did you know?
Yeah, how do you not know that?
He's just an elite domain appraiser.
Yeah. He does have domain appraisal skills.
He is pretty good though. Josh is pretty good.
So, all right, well, talk to us. What do you think? What's the where'd you buy it and what was the motivation?
Well, I bought it on GoDaddy auctions, and I like it because it is basically the most important. There's a variety of things around, but it's Bitcoin related. And as you all know, I am a fan of Bitcoin, and I believe in its
thesis.
all sorts of stuff, the thesis. But the most important signal in Bitcoin is not price; it's actually hash power. And as hash power increases, so does the price. And hash power is basically a representation of, the security of the Bitcoin network. It is the amount of power being thrown at the network by miners, which again is, indicative of a whole bunch of things. And it's a precursor to price movement, both up and down. So it also is like kind of a fun little brand that could be used in a whole bunch of ways. And there is such a close relationship between hash power and energy and hash power, energy and Bitcoin. And so hash power, I just think it's a phenomenal brand in the Bitcoin world and even potentially outside of the Bitcoin world. So I like it. I like it. I think it's just a really, look, it's literally one of the most important keyword phrases around the entire Bitcoin ecosystem. Arguably like top 3 to 5.
And
Yeah, it's a great buy.
yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want who's next? Me?
You're up, dog. What you got?
All right. I haven't got really that nothing too exciting because I've told these guys all my sales recently. I've had a couple good .ai sales, and then the only names that I bought in the last 3 months is the 2 that I just partnered with Drew on. So can't really talk much about that. But I've got I got some sales that are not so exciting. So and we can talk about those. This one is LINQ. So link global.com.
I was like, oh wow, that's a great name. Then you had to throw the global on there.
Yeah.
Global dash 16
.xyz.
dot horse.
It's like anything
and proton mail.
anything over 10K in terms of a sale price, you guys already know it. So
yeah. So this is LINQ.
Well, now you just kind of. I mean, I don't think any of us would have guessed over 10K on that, but
I would have guessed over 10K.
LINQ global.com.
Yeah.
And you sold it.
Yeah. You gotta get close. Somewhere between 0 and 10K.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Ready?
Boom. Oh.
Oh, did you guys? Is that the same? I can't even see.
Yeah. We
Braden and I are both at 2,500 and
all
Drew's at 4,369. All right, Braden, you want the over or the under?
I'll take the. Oh shit! I'm gonna take the over.
Okay, I'll take the under. That's fine. All right, so I've got 2,499 now, and Braden's got 2,500. Unless it's 2,500 on the nose, then we both get the point.
Look at that picture.
Oh no, Drew got it.
I took that picture.
Through all that.
What do you got? How much?
4,700, 4,695.
Oh, I was close. I
think there's some collusion between you two right now.
No.
One of them is going to win the game. I think we're, because you've got to give the next name, Braden. But before we get to that. So, Josh, was that a hand reg or did you actually?
Yeah. It was just another one of my hand registration.
Hand reg is that? What makes you think? Let me get LINQ global. Like, come on, that's not a hand reg.
It was a hand reg from last year, just part of the
closeout, maybe, but like a hand reg.
A hand reg, yeah.
That's skill. I feel like
Josh, stay strong. You sold that shit, so
I feel like you did. You register that around the time? Don't you do a?
I did in a day. I mean, that's it.
Clearly,
numbers don't lie.
Right.
Didn't you do was it a Domain Name Wire podcast where you talked about hand regging a bunch of names? Was this part of that?
Out of 5,000 hand regs that I did last year,
yeah,
or maybe more. I think I did more, but no, it's it just follows the same thing that I talked about on Domain Name Wire. So basically, I identify a suffix, and then in this case it was global, and then I search for the best keywords that I can find.
Found LINQ was on the list.
Yeah, it was, and so it's actually surprising, right? Like, there's a lot of these obscure kind of like keywords that nobody would really like think about holding much value that are actually have like a ton of usage, and then you put like a suffix and they have some, nominal value like this. And I move a lot of names like from that batch of hand registrations. I think I talked about a few of them on Sherpa already, but these type of names, I get it. They're total shit. You don't want to spend more than $10 on them, but you can move, like, the numbers make sense if you're selling them, for 5K a pop, and
Sure.
you
Oh,
get close,
that's a great result.
Yeah, I mean, can't shake a stick at that.
Yeah, way to
Yeah.
work, man. All right,
Oh, good
well,
stuff,
you
man.
got the
All right,
name.
well-
You sold the name. Drew gets the point, and now Braden, you've got to give a name, and I'm gonna abstain, and this is just gonna come down to Drew and Josh for the change. Actually, you know
Why
what?
are
No,
you
I'm not.
abstaining?
All right, and you know what? Because I was gonna get to a winner. Because if I get a point, then Braden's gonna have to give us a second name to do the. But you know what? Let's do it. Let's do that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I
participate.
haven't. Sorry,
I want to
been on it a minute.
win this, JT.
I'm gonna try to get the point. I'm gonna try to get a comeback point here.
All right. I don't really have any .coms that I can talk about, with the exception of a 3L. I keep talking about .nets, and that's just driving the price up. So how about we'll do either AI or .org. What do you think?
Oh,
You give the audience what they want.
.org. Can we do
Org? Okay.
AI.
the .org and then the .ai after JT wins?
If we need to.
Okay. All right. Let me pick a .org. All right. Here's one. Skills. SKILLS.
It's a buy or a sell.
This is a sell.
Skills.org.
Skills.org.
Ooh. Skills.org. Sexy.
Yeah, man, you got skills, Braden.
Oh.
Oh man, I feel like you sold it for a lot.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I know. It's just some of them. Sometimes you got that look in your face.
I don't know. I have no idea here.
I don't have. I just picked. I sold several, so I pick one.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm at 50,000. Josh is at 65,000, and Drew is at 74,369. That's pretty well
close
clustered.
spread.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's too bad you're all wrong.
Ooh.
I forgot. Yeah.
Oh, Drew wins.
100 grand even.
Bang. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
Nice
So Drew
work.
wins the domain game.
I like C.org go for good money because I think they're worth it. I really do. I love .org.
What so talk to us, Braden. How long did you have, like, what'd you buy it for? When'd you get it? How long did you hold it, and how'd you sell it?
I had it for about a year and a half. I've attributed a $10,000 purchase price to it. And the reason why I say that is because I lent somebody, I think it was 30 grand against 3 domains, and it was me like 90 days or something. He came back. He's like, I don't have the money. You're just gonna have to keep those names.
Oh, wow.
So I still have 2 more names.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Solid.
hey, and that's what happens when you don't pay Braden back. He sells it real quick.
He sells your shit for more than you borrowed. Like,
Yeah.
I got lucky on that one, I mean, he didn't.
Like,
But
I'm definitely talking about this one on Sherpa, mofo.
Yeah.
the second it happened, you're like, yo, I'm running with it. All right, well, good stuff. I mean, that's so 10K to 100K, and where'd you
Yeah.
sell it? Like Afternick or Adam?
Let me look. Hold on. Where'd it go? Afternet broker.
Boom, Afternick broker.
Yeah, it was a
GG.
negotiation. I had it priced at I had a bin of 130, and so.
Okay.
But I had it on. I think I had it on Adam like on Adam for 100, I think. So I just stuck with that, but they wanted to go through Afternick, so. Which happens, if they want to pay more.
All right, let's keep it moving. Now we're going to slide into NameJet the Jet. The section or segment is sponsored by NameJet. We're going to review a list of domains coming up for auctions, see what the Sherpas like and what they don't like. And it's a big shout out to NameJet. And you can go to the DomainSherpa page, and you can download the sheet. that will have a bunch of the information about the names that we are going to talk about, including what's the age of the domain, how many back orders as of the time we put the list together, what the minimum bid looks like, when the order by date is, so you know when you need to get some your bids in, and a few of these are actually going to have already passed, so you can still participate, but you probably want to move somewhat quickly if you want to catch a few of these. So let's do that. In the meantime, and we have the Esterbot appraisals. We also have the appraisals from appraise.net. We've got their low, their high, their link to the rest of that information. So hopefully that helps. Not financial advice, but happy bidding. But let's talk about these names. So let's start with you, Josh. Talk to me about what names you like or don't like.
Okay. Well, we got a few .orgs on there.
I know. I thought that, coming off of the skills.org, there was, and actually there was a few others that are going to be happening at NameJet. There's some really good oneword.org auctions going on. There were about 2 or 3 that I could have included on the list that are probably even better than the names that are on the list, but I didn't want it to be just all like .org. So
Yeah. I'm not sure if any of them are really the type of names that I would buy. They're just not quite strong enough. We're still in a place with .org where, unlike .com, you do really want to try to get a strong SLD or something that fits the extension really well. And I would say that appreciate.org kind of feels like it fits the extension pretty well, but not much. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on that. I wouldn't mind having it, but I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it.
okay.
Marvelous.org. Yeah, I mean that one's slightly better. I think I think I would probably be into that for maybe a couple thousand, but not much more than that. These are not like super premium .orgs that I'd be spending
Sure.
over K or over 10K on. But not bad. And then steel.org, probably avoid that one personally. So yeah, I don't know if it's just me. I don't love the list. Yeah, the rest of them honestly, like there's nothing on there that I look at and I'm going to back order just because I'm not, if I was actively trying to scale the portfolio, I'd probably just put a back order on all of them, but none of them stand out to me as like must-have names.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, that's the list. And thanks, guys, for taking the time to go through it. But good luck, everybody. Happy hunting, happy bidding, all that good stuff. All right. And well, we're gonna keep it moving. We got about 15 minutes, and maybe not even use all that time, so we can just anything else that we haven't already talked about. We kind of moved through NameJet, gonna jet pretty quick. Braden, what else is good, man? What's good with you as far as any of your upcoming travel? You were at ICA New York. How was that? I know we've got some other stuff going on with the ICA, but
Yeah,
what's good with you?
that was great. I've been pushing that idea for like, I don't know, 2 years, and they didn't want to take the risk. And finally, I don't know, the planets aligned, and I got some support. We did it, and I mean, obviously, I didn't put it together. I just had the idea, but we sold out. And
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, not only we sell out, I think we were oversold. I think we squeezed a few more people in afterwards, and it was great. It's a good
Yeah.
get together. It's like the original Vegas, where it was like 50 people, and so it's a nice tight knit group. You could talk to everybody, spend time with everybody.
Yeah.
So good conversations, and we're definitely doing it again next year. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, I think that obviously, look, we've had success with the Vegas, with the annual meeting or the
Mhm.
annual member get together, and that's been great. And I think doing something that was a little bit more sort of high end, a little bit more intimate, new location. I think, big shout out to Kevin and the team at Squarespace for opening up their offices and making
For
them
sure.
available for part of that, because that was a big, help as far as to kind of center the thing.
It was a
Um,
great space too.
yeah, yeah, that's what I heard. So, yeah, so all in all, good stuff. So big shout out to the ICA. We had, if you haven't seen the episode with Cam and Nat, the new president, then definitely go check it out. And if you haven't gotten on your membership yet, then you also need to go deal with that. because we got some other good stuff coming up there. So, all right, well, what else? What about any other travel? I can.
The main
Yeah, I mean,
market observations.
Dubai's coming up. Well, no, first we got NamesCon, right?
Yeah, Miami.
NamesCon, I'm close now. Now that I'm in
Yeah.
Puerto
Oh, that's
Rico.
true.
Oh yeah, it's just a quick
2.5
swim.
hour flight. So I'm looking forward to that, and then Dubai, and then Bali right after Dubai. So that's cool. So those are my travels coming up, and then
When is Bali?
right after Dubai. I don't know the exact date, but it's right after.
Which month? Do you know?
October, I think.
No,
I
okay.
don't know if it's end of October or beginning of November.
Okay. Yeah. Tough.
Yeah,
Cool.
Bali's gonna be cool.
All right.
like
Well, that's
Bali.
what's good, man. So, and other than that, just buying and selling.
Buying and selling. It's been a good year. A lot of people said it's been a slow summer, but I've had a lot of action. I actually sold 4 names last week, which
Yeah.
is
Wow.
which for me that's a lot because I average like 1 a week. But 4, and then I've got a couple pending. I've got a little portfolio deal that I'm working on selling. So that's it's cool. I gotta draw up some cash, because I just bought a house. So
Selling a portfolio to end users?
no, to another investor, which I never do. But it's a bunch of inventory that I've had a long time that I don't love, and we worked out a fair deal. And it's a nice chunk of money, so which I could use right about now.
It's
I like it,
yeah,
man.
it's been a busier than normal summer. To be this week in particular, I actually wish it was not as busy. I'm trying to wind down and I'm getting stressed out.
Work or
Uh,
personal?
huh?
Work or personal?
No, work. It's been really busy.
You can't keep
we,
up
we
counting all that cash. Is that what it is? It's just like
yeah, it's
your fingers are
just
getting sore and
um uh no, it's you know what, we've had uh I think, well, we had a couple of very good sales this month. But June was really like a booming month. And in the last 60 days, maybe, we've had really a huge number of acquisition uh requests. So we've been contracted for really like an extraordinary, for relative to like our historical average, an extraordinary number of acquisitions, and some of them very, very large. Um,
.ais.
well, including a number of .ais, but not the majority by any
To
means.
one word .coms primarily.
Yeah, primarily one word .coms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With reasonable budgets, I assume.
I would say we're pretty picky on the acquisition side. Like, we don't really like going on fishing expeditions. So unless somebody comes with like what I would consider an appropriate budget for a
Yeah.
name, we really won't take it on. And so I would say all of them are appropriate budgets, but unfortunately, some of them are simply not adequate for, the price levels that the owners want. It's pretty extraordinary to me that there's just some of these domain owners are really pushing the boundary on what the market will bear. And once in a while their bingo card hits. But most of them unfortunately don't. But that's how the ball falls.
It's how the ball falls, or the ball bounces.
Well, how's your experiment playing out? About like 7,000 names, a lot of hand reg. How's that working out for you? How long has it been? About a year?
Yeah, about a year. Some obviously some are a little less, some a little bit more because we're halfway through the year, and I really started doing it at the beginning of last year, and then finished doing it at the end of last year. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I registered a lot of keywordagent.com names and a lot of keywordintelligence.com names, which like for hand registrations, you can sell those for quite a lot of money. Just I think the other day I posted on X, I sold a keywordintelligence.com name for 10K. I've sold others for 20K, 15K. And, these are names that I hand registered 12 months, 18 months ago for $5. So like, I've done pretty well with the hand registrations. But yeah, the ones that I've done best with are following the AI trend, honestly.
And so, sorry, you have a positive ROI at this point?
Yeah.
Or a year into it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What do you know what your ROI is? Not dollars, but percentage.
No, I don't know exactly. But I was in the black on all of them at the beginning of this year already. My general, I was talking to Leanne about this, who I speak to regularly because she works at DNX. But like, one of the things that a lot of people don't consider when they're registering a lot of domains is that like it's a terrible way to assess. Like 1 year's worth of sales is a terrible way to assess whether it's a positive or negative experiment. Because when you're registering domain names, there's no pent up demand. You're typically trying to register stuff that is trending upwards. And I'm not saying that in terms of like keywords like VR and stuff like that. I'm talking about it in terms of like naming conventions. So keyword agent, keyword intelligence, like stuff that people haven't really done before. But prior to that, they were maybe doing keyword labs. And you start to see these new trends that follow, certain industries. So it needs more than 1 year for these kind of experiments to develop. If you're if you've got a positive ROI within a year, I would say that you're generally looking at a pretty good investment over the course of 5 years, would be my opinion.
So if you're already in the black, how come you don't want to do it again? You're just
It's just a lot. It's a lot. It's just a lot. I've got I got stuff going on. I don't want to. I don't know. I probably should. But again, also like there's risk involved in that as well. Like, do I want to hold 50,000 .coms? I'm not sure if I do.
Isn't it
Something
amazing?
I'm
You do this for
thinking
years
about
and
is-
years, and we're still experimenting. There's just no.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like, look, earlier this year, I don't know if it was last year, maybe it was last year, I sold kind of two big names back to back on GoDaddy. Like, I sold both to the Trump family. I sold the abtc.com, which was their Bitcoin business.
American Bitcoin.
And I was literally just a buy it now of whatever it was. I don't remember, 750 grand. And then the other one was another 4-letter. Well, I don't remember what it was. It was like BTCV or I don't remember. It was another semi crypto related 4-letter. And it was like 500 grand, 495 grand or something. Buy it now. And so, look, it's hard to say, like, I don't know. Maybe they would have gone with a different name if there wasn't a buy it now. Maybe there was a time constraint and they just hit the bin. I don't know. That's the thing about domains. It's impossible to A/B test. Literally impossible to A/B test. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I've argued with Darpon about this, over and over and over again. And it's all these freaking data putt guys. I love you, Darpon. You're doing amazing things for the industry. I love that you're innovating. But all these guys get stuck in their own freaking heads about data. And it's like, look, you're missing the point. Domains, each one is unique. There is no A/B testing. Each domain name has a unique buyer, a unique seller, a unique moment of time, and the domain name itself has a bazillion unique variables and attributes. You cannot A/B test. Doesn't exist. Don't care. Shut up. Don't want to hear it. You have no argument. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I've thought about this probably more than anybody on earth. I think about it constantly, every single day. You cannot A/B test, and therefore, I don't know. I changed my mind about what to do about that. But the conclusion I've come to most recently is that I think the highest value thesis or the highest value method is to just individually price names in the moment. Do not have buy it now pricing. which is contrary to what the data says, right? The data says sell-through rates are higher, and that's probably true. But what that doesn't account for is opportunity cost of selling a name at a buy it now price. Like we can look at it and say abtc.com, 750 grand or whatever the price was, amazing deal. No freaking question. I'm very happy. I have zero regrets. The question is, would it have sold if it didn't have a buy it now price? Would I have not gotten the sale because they moved on to another name? Or would they have inquired and I might have done more research and maybe I sold it for a higher price? And we will never know. And that is the case in every sale, in my opinion. So I don't know. I think that having the optionality of pricing the name in the moment, if you're going to do your research appropriately, I think that's the right way to go. And on the buying side, from I put my brokerage hat on. I would say that having to go knock on a door, not having a price anchor up front, and then being presented with prices that are way higher than a buyer wanted to pay. In the cases where the buyer really wants the name or really needs the name, that frustration that it causes definitely leads to a higher sale price. Like it just does. That's my experience. So that's what I'm doing for now. I may change. I may also move the mark from, everything above 25 grand to maybe 50. I don't know.
Yeah.
But certainly on the highest value names, I think it's important to price it in the moment.